Alright, Zapkix. Cool, man. Login, feedback, music, sounds, levels, clicker, time scale, day, night. Best score 1. Continue. Huh. Best score 2. A suggestion, add a video. If you can show me a video of this being played, that would be nice. Let me see here. But I'll install it and try it out. Get my two-step on. Don't worry about Nightbot, he just yells at people, he's not modded. Alright, we're installing this. It will be installed on my device soon. Let's take a look. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my main camera, going to create a cylinder object, and I'm going to make a really fucking large cylinder that's very thin. Gonna make it rotate. We're gonna Okay. I'm gonna come back to this. We're gonna check out this guy's sweet game. I don't have any video. Sorry, it's alright. Alright, let me take off. Let me mute my music here, take off my headphones. We're gonna give this the old college trial, give you some feedback on it, let you know how it is. Alright, so let me just confirm that this is showing my phone in some capacity. Oh wow, that's not gonna work at all. Can I do this? Allow it to find my location. Allow. Access my media. Alright, allow. Hopefully that doesn't bite me in the ass later. Alright. There we go. I'm gonna do, oh god. Alright. Let me put that by the mic. I'm digging the music. Login, feedback, privacy policy. Alright. What's this star do? Oh, it's to rate the game. Right, I don't want to do that right now. Play. Levels. Time scale, day and night. Bonus level, best, and then click something. Okay. We're gonna do time scale. Guess I'll watch an ad. You guys don't have to watch it. So I don't understand what I was doing. I was just clicking. Alright, quick ad. Painless ad, so that's nice. So, continue. Very short ads. I need to figure out how to make sure my ads are short for my game. So play. So why did I lose? I don't think I understand why I'm losing. And maybe I'm an idiot. But, is it, okay, so if, Okay, I figured it out. Ooh, alright, I get it now. So if they are, yeah. So if it's the same color and the same shape, then I click, otherwise I don't click. Got it. Alright. So that was a square and a rectangle. Feedback, I wouldn't have that. Because I'm just going to assume that, like, different phones might be stretching the game differently, and having a square and a rectangle, like, I don't know, like, to me, the way that the triangles line up and everything else, like, nothing is perfectly center, and so it doesn't feel fair. Like, I think that triangle, square, and all of the other ones, like, triangle, like, see... Okay, so that also was wrong because it was a different sized triangle. Because I clicked. So I'm guessing that, like, there are different size shapes. I wouldn't do that. I guess it's isosceles triangle versus equilateral triangle. That feels kind of bullshitty. To me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's exactly perfect and you don't need to do that, but, I guess I didn't hit that one in time. What I would do as a, I don't know, what I'm doing with my game is, instead of saying, in order to keep playing, you need to watch an ad, which I think is a little much for the play of the game. I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit. So I think forcing me to watch an ad every single time I fail for a game with a fast failure case isn't necessarily a good idea. Usually you want people to opt into ads, and that's what I'm doing. So if you look at my game, and I'll show you, so the idea of the game is you collect these coins, right? And you're playing the game. The idea is that you're going to be able to spend these coins on upgrades to like do cooler things with the hill. And you're gonna want to like gain them at an increased rate. So let's say I fail, I don't get the next coin in time, and I fall back down the hill. So you can immediately play again, but you can get more coins for watching an ad. So you opt into watching an ad in exchange for more coins, but I'm not stopping you from playing the game. And then I'm saying they can give me money to always get this boost and basically go ad-free permanently. So that's my monetization strategy. And you know, I'm not married to this. You know, I'm not definitely gonna do this, but like, I've watched and read a lot about how ads have a psychological effect on players. And I'm not saying your game isn't worth watching these ads for. I'm just suggesting that I think that if I have to watch an ad, even a really short ad, and I don't know how you always get this ad colony ad that's super short, if this is a demo ad or what, but I don't like the way that's breaking up the gameplay. And I don't understand it. Like, it seems like I'm earning stars for something. And there's a failure because I double circled. So now I can continue if I want, but I don't really want to, because it's like 2 seconds for the ad colony. So I'm gonna watch the ad colony ad, we're gonna move forward, I'm gonna hit play again. I would love to play one of the other game modes. There we go. I'm just gonna play this one more time. I guess there was a color difference. Yeah, another thing to keep in mind, there are colorblind people in the world. And I mean, the difference between that green and that yellow was such that with my phone at an angle, I couldn't tell. So you might consider having a mode that, like, so this mode is fine for normal people, but if you want to be able to like, get the colorblind demographic, which exists and is a real demographic, you might consider having an option in your options menu that enables colorblind colors, where you pick colors specifically that are very, very, very different, and while that will make the game easier, it will also make it accessible to people who can't necessarily tell the difference between the color choices that you have. So let me try. All right, best score. That's cool. I like your transitions. I like your art. I like the basic design. Let me try day and night, since clearly that's a different game. Let's see here. I wasn't looking. Sorry. Watch ad. All right, what am I doing? Watching an ad. Great. Blah blah blah. Play. I don't know what the goal is here. Adding a tutorial, or like a help, or like even just a thing that like explains what I'm doing, will definitely improve. So this is a timing thing? Okay. So I want to hit, if they're the same, at around the right time. And randomly the screen flashes white to throw me off, I guess. Again, not a bad game concept. Most games that do something like this tend to be more inclusive than less inclusive. So if I can put the camera back on me for a second. So most games that have multiple features that you're trying to match, yeah, black and white mode could work as well instead of colors. But most of the time, but black and white doesn't really work on a black background. There are other ways of fixing it. But most times in games like Set, in games like in games where you're looking at things that can be like, there are multiple colors. Some of them are bold, some of them are not bold, some of them are squiggly, some of them are straight. Usually, and this is an interesting just note in game design, usually as long as everything shares one feature, it's considered a group. And so the fact that they need to share all features is an interesting thing that your game is doing, but I might suggest adding a mode where they only need to share one feature, where if they're the same color or they're the same shape, it is a match, and if they're both, it's a match. But it's more interesting for the human brain to try to look at 3 different axes and look for the pattern that matches both axes. Like, there are a lot of games where you're looking at 3 different objects, and these objects have 3 different attributes, and you need to make it so that a correct grouping is all three objects have only one thing, or at least one thing, that is matching in all of them. And so, like, this frenetic, like, going fast thing, yes, that's really interesting. You have something interesting here. It's just, I'm just trying to suggest other things to experiment with that may improve your player experience. Overall, I think it's very polished. It looks really cool. I think you're well farther than me in terms of your game is already on the App Store. Let me go back to your home menu. Let me just look at a couple other things. So I'm in level selection. I can buy these things with stars. There's a trophy thing. There's leaderboards. That's really nice. I'm just curious how your shop works. So if I go to your shop, what am I looking at? So select category to buy, shapes, colors. So I can buy more colors, which presumably makes the game harder. And like, let me try buying this. All right, so right now I have a heart. I bought a heart. All right, so then I can also buy, the UI for getting out of this is, if I click on this, oh, all right, now it works. When I click on shapes here, this should probably also, this is not showing up. When I click on shapes, I intuit that this should open the shapes menu, but I have to click over here on this button. And when I clicked on colors, it should open the menu. Just a thought. So yeah, so for colors, clearly I have 6 unlocked. I can unlock more with points. I guess how much, I'm really curious how much you thought about having this be your progression. Because it's, I can't see what I'm unlocking with these, so like, I don't understand why some colors are worth more than others. Like, it seems like just the next color is 50, then 50, then 100, then 100, but I want to know what color that is. Like, to me, that seems like the selling point, is what color is that? I actually feel like, I feel like this is too many colors, but maybe you've played it with all of this shit unlocked and it works really well, and maybe that's sort of the thing that I'm not seeing in terms of what I was suggesting earlier with my when at least one thing is matching in all categories. But like visually, needing to be able to identify light blue versus dark blue, like A versus B, all of these things, I don't know. I don't feel like that's fun. I don't feel I feel like you should give some of your playtesters the game fully unlocked, because I feel like the game with like very discrete colors seems interesting. Adding more shapes seems interesting, but like yeah, again, I haven't had the chance to try your other play modes. You have two other play modes called clicker and bomb level, which I can't really read very easily through your menu, which is another thing you should probably consider. Maybe making it more clear what I'm purchasing and why I'm purchasing it would be nice. Also, if you're going to have ads after every failure and then make me basically earn, like, it feels like 100 for not watching an ad is kind of steep. It feels steep. It feels like that's a lot of stars that I'm having to spend to not spend 20 minutes of my time watching something. If I click on bought item, you can replace another item. Okay, I'm not sure what that means, but I'm going to go to the menu and take a look at it. Shop. If I click on a bot, so I'm going to click on this color. All right, I'm going to click on this shape that I bought. Before. Oh, okay, so there are only 4 shapes. I just get to pick if I want a heart instead of another square looking thing. I got it. All right, that's interesting. So it's not that it's not that there are a bunch of shapes, it's that I can choose to replace one of the 4 shapes that are going to show up with a different shape. That isn't the most compelling to me with this game. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it is a little, like, if anything, the only motivation I have to do that is to make the game easier. And that doesn't feel like a motivation I should want. I should want to be looking to unlock things that make the game more fun, not more convenient. And so, like, it means your game isn't... If there are better choices for colors and shapes that aren't the default, you have to ask yourself, why isn't that the default? Why aren't you giving your player the best experience they could have out the gate so they want to play your game more? Why are you giving them an experience... Like, if you want to, like, talk about, like, game design, the first 15 minutes of your game need to be the best. The opening of your game, the very opening of your game, needs to absolutely grab your player, and it needs to be insanely fun. And that's true for console games, PC games, and mobile games. If I'm not immediately having fun, like, a lot of people are going to put your game down. And so if you're not polishing and making sure that the moment they start playing your game, they are having a really enjoyable experience, that's a problem. And so I'm not against the idea of this customization. This customization definitely could exist in your game and be interesting. But to me, off of the game I just played, all this tells me is that if I play your game enough, I will unlock the ability to play the game I actually want to play. If that makes sense. And so, like, what's also interesting to me, and I don't know if this is you just haven't figured it out yet, but why can't I give you money for stars? Why, like, the obvious, to me, monetization strategy for mobile games is you have an in-game currency to unlock shit. I want to just give, I just want to unlock it. I want to be able to play those levels now. I don't want to have to sit through all this other stuff. Clearly, I gain stars at a pretty steady rate, but also if I want to not watch ads, I have to give you 100 stars. And even though these ads are really small and short, I'm guessing that's because it's the demo. And like I've definitely had games with similar ads that are much longer, and that really breaks up the play experience. So, why can't I just be like, here's $2. I just want all the colors. Like that's something that like you need to, I think, make that a thing that is possible, because there are people who will want to do that. There are people who will look at your game and say, I like this game, I want to support this person, this is interesting, I just want it to never show me an ad again. Can I give you money in exchange for that? And I think that, like, if I have there's a Picross game I play on my phone. Gave him, I think, $2 or $5, shut off all the ads. Much better play experience. I enjoy playing that game much more because of it. If you don't offer that play experience and I have to watch an ad constantly, I'm not going to want to keep playing your game. And so, like, giving someone that out and letting them support you, I don't think, I don't know the stats for it, but I don't think a single user is going, I don't know over the lifetime of a user how many ads they need to watch to equate to $2 to you, but I have to imagine that it's quite a lot. Other thoughts? You need a better teaching system. I think that when you start each game mode, there should be a pop-up that at least explains the game mode quickly to you. Even if it's just visually, it shows the thing, it shows the tap, it like shows the things matching, you tap, and it's like checkbox, and then it shows the thing not matching, and like it shows a user not tapping and just waiting and letting it end, and then it shows checkbox, or like shows something like visually without using words if possible. And the reason we don't want to use words is because any text or words that you put in your game causes an overhead for localization if you want to be able to put your game in other people's hands. And so, in other countries specifically. And so the less text your game has, the better, and the more visually you're explaining things, the better. But I do think that would go a long way. Credits, font, music, feathers, Felix developers. Yeah, man. I mean, I think this is a good game. I think this game has a lot of polish. I think this game has a lot of potential. I think you should explore a little more with the game mechanics. I don't know how much you did. I mean, maybe you did explore with the game mechanics, and I just am talking out of my ass. But that's just like my go-to criticisms is like, I think that with day-night, it's not. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird to me that both of them have to be the same. When I've seen and played a lot of other games where it's about one being the same, just not or both being different. Because I think that it is boring. I think it's bad when a player has to do nothing and wait for the game to keep going. Like, even in my game Current, a game that I made for a game jam recently. Like, I'll show it to you real quick, just to rep my game. So this is a game I made for a game jam, and one criticism I have of my own game is that there are plenty of situations where you don't have to do anything. So let me just let this game load for 2 seconds. But I think you want to minimize, or at least make, like, okay, so let me just get through the tutorial here. This is going to take 2 seconds. All right, so the way this game works is it is a game, hopefully the volume isn't too harsh. Might be a little harsh. I'm going to just turn the Chrome volume down for a second. So this game is about solving digital logic gates. That's an AND gate. So this is a NOR gate, which means I don't want to turn any of these switches on to get past it. And that, to me, it doesn't feel good. Like, you want the player to engage. So, like, AND gate, great. They have to flip both switches to on to get past it. This is a thing that gives you... So, like, this gate right here. So, this is a NOR gate, and this is a NEXOR gate. So, basically, in order for this to be true, I needed to flip that first one. So that was okay. There's an XOR, that one requires at least one, that's okay. This is a NOR gate. This is another gate where, like, the right answer is not turning anything on. And you just hit to go through. And so, like, those situations where you don't engage with the player mechanics or with the game mechanics and you just keep doing it, that's what that situation feels weird. And in your game, just waiting for the thing to go by and not hitting it feels weird. I mean, it's also true in Fruit Ninja, where you want to not slice the bombs. And so those situations need to be a minority of the game situations that you have. So like you don't want in Fruit Ninja you would never want a lot of bombs and only a little bit of fruit. That feels bad to the player, because the fun thing about Fruit Ninja is slicing through shit. The fun thing in your game is tapping when you're like, yeah, that matches, yeah, that matches, yeah, that matches, nope, that doesn't match, yeah, that matches. And so you want to make it so those nopes, there's a sweet spot where like they happen, but they don't happen too often. Because if the person's just like, nope, not that one, nope, that one I don't tap either, they're like a dog waiting, and the feeling of, yeah, bing, that's one of the right ones, that feels good. So there's a psychological aspect there. Anyway, I think I really like your game. For anyone interested in his game, he posted in chat. It's also available on the App Store. It is called, let me just go to the home menu. It is called Zapkix, and it's pretty legit. I think this is polished enough that you could spend marketing money on this. I don't know where you would market it. I don't know how you would market it, but I think that this is a very well polished game. I do think that if you say that your game is still in development, you shouldn't call it version 1.5. That is one thing I would say. Version 1 of a game, sort of, that's release. If you're at version 1, that is the release of your game. And so if you're pre-version 1, you're still in beta, you're still developing, there's still a lot of things moving. But like externally, when someone sees version 1.5, your game, yeah, they're still making improvements to it, but you have released a game, it is out. So saying it's still in development and also saying it's version 1.5 are two things that sort of disagree with each other in terms of player explanation. Anyway, thanks for sharing that. That was a really good game. I like it a lot. I think that I don't think I would play it a ton, just because I worry about. I mean, I would play it right now because the ads are super short, but I'm super concerned about the ads just breaking up the. I would play it right now if I could buy an ad-free version. I will say that. If I could buy an ad-free version, I would play that for, you know, maybe 20-30 minutes before I gave up on it and was like, all right, I played all the modes, that was interesting. If I'm ever bored, maybe I'll pull it up again. Yeah. Turn the canvas off. All right, player prefab. So I've got this cylinder, and I need to rotate it. Okay. So, Z rotation? Yes. No? Maybe? Is it the Z rotation that I want? No, not the Z rotation. It's the Y rotation. No. The X rotation? I guess it's the X rotation. Alright, to -15. Isn't it visible to the camera? Really? Really? That's very interesting. Alright, well let's make this 10. There we go. 15, 13, 12, 10. Alright, well for now let's just, we've positioned it slightly to a side. In this case it was 0.08, and make this -0.08, and this is -10. Alright, so now it's at least visible to the cameras. Cal Menu CZ, hopefully my ranting was useful. I don't know if it was or not, but I liked your game, and I certainly have lots of thoughts on game design and game development, so. Alright, I was thinking about tutorial earlier, and I'm going to release it in the next update thing. I was thinking about what you said deeply, and I point out what you meant by boring game system, and I'm going to fix it. Thank you so much, man. I hope your game will be successful. Do you have a Facebook or something like that where I can see progress on your game, or only here? Right now, only here. If I was smart, I would have a Facebook, but I am not. I need to try to get more of an online presence. That is definitely a failure of mine. So I just follow me.